And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Um, I don't often meet with you in the evening, but I'm so glad to do so this evening. This will be actually my third video, a live video today.
Oh, wow. Okay. You've been rolling, huh?
I wrote.
Yes.
It just happened that way. So, welcome to my channel. I'm Kathy Hampton from Wellside Retreats. And Wellside Retreats is a transformational destination and life coaching service where I help Black women move away from whatever is not serving them well and hope that they will move themselves to a place of wellness, to really get in touch with themselves, their body, mind, and spirit holistically. And so, for instance, what does that all mean? That means for a woman who may feel stuck, stagnant, unfulfilled, really unhappy, potentially depressed or anxious. But there's always a way out, and that requires movement. And here on this channel, we discuss how to move, how to set intentions on what you want, how to get quiet and still, and take action. And so tonight, I'm going to be speaking with a friend who's visited me on my channel and vice versa, me on her channel.
Mhm.
And we're going to be talking about, for one thing, her book that she recently published. And it is called I'm Here, Now What by Ericka Sallee. And Ericka Sallee is many things, but she's a great person. She's innovative. She is a go-getter. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen her real still. She's always moving. She's always doing something. But she's also helping a lot of people, a lot of women in particular, but a lot of people, all kinds of people. And so she's here tonight, and we're going to be talking it up because we haven't spent much time together this year. I've been doing
A
my
lot of
thing
good stuff.
and setting up for another major transition. So that's what we're kind of talking about tonight is Erica's transition. We shared some that in common, and we met I think about 6 years ago
Yeah, I
now,
was gonna say it's been about 5 or 6 years.
5 or
Yeah.
6 years. And she was one of my first coaches
Mhm.
when I separated from my marriage and was trying to figure out a whole bunch of stuff. And Ericka Sallee was very helpful to me. And uh, I would not have known that she would have been writing this particular book at that time.
I
But
probably didn't know it either, but
but but we share that in common, and we can laugh and have laughed about it all. We've
Mhm.
put smiles on each other's faces about it with things in common. And so yeah, I want Erica to introduce herself and welcome Erica. It's been a long time, but you never are forgotten.
Oh,
Um, Thank you for coming on and talking to my community.
well, thank you for opening the space for us to talk. And you're right. I was just sitting here thinking as you were talking, I'm like, just thinking of conversations that we've had and
Mhm.
how amazing it is when God brings people together, shared experiences, like minds, and recognizing that we've each been a source of support in various stages. And that's what makes this conversation such a blessing. So it's good to be here with you. I'm excited about the conversation. I'm excited about your transition, which I'm not going to talk about because you'll be sharing more, but just thinking about it makes me excited. So it's funny, Kathy, when people would ask, like, well, tell me about you. You know how we have a tendency to talk about our successes, our degrees, what we do, who we serve, and all that kind of stuff. Um, but I think the thing that stands this most present for me right now is I am a woman on a new journey, right?
Mhm.
Um, Post divorce, recognizing that, okay, you're in your 50s, you're trying to explore now, what does life look like? How are you managing it? What does dating look like, which we're going to get into? I am the mother of two amazing children. My daughter, who is a full grown adult, 24, living on her own, and
When did
my yeah, exactly. She's
uh,
24. Yeah. My son is 15. So I'm in a space now where I'm like discovering, well, what does fulfillment look like for me now? And then I get to enjoy seeing them as adult, teenager, talking about different things, exploring, and just, being in a good space with them and just watching them learn and grow. And then, of course, there's the business side as a coach for women. And I thank you for allowing me to serve you, because that's a blessing, right? Being able to figure out what are the roadblocks that's standing in your way? What are some of the things that when you think about wanting to move forward, it's like, well, can't do that.
Mhm.
But the beauty is that we always have opportunity for strategy to move around some of the stuff that we think is holding us back. And so that's something that I get excited about. I'm passionate about that, and never thought that I'd be an author, but here we are, right? So
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, so
Mhm.
that's kind of it in a nutshell. We'll get into more. Yeah.
So tell us now. First of all, I want to say hello to Donna, the art appraiser. Donna, my community members have come
Hello.
on tonight.
Hello.
I-
Yes.
yeah, Donna, the art appraiser. Good evening to you. We have Maya. Maya, thank
Hey,
you for
Maya.
coming. And my peace. And
I
good
love
evening
it.
to you. Most of the time, everyone's saying good morning, and I haven't been on here in the evening, so it's a little different. And so this afternoon, and everyone was like, "Good afternoon." So I've been busy, and what I want you to share is you. This is your second book,
Mhm.
and your first book was was amazing. It was a guide, just like this book is a guide. I call it a guide. In fact, I'll read my would this is called a testimonial, or
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, on the
Uh-huh.
back. I appreciate being able to do that
Yeah.
on the back of the book, and I'll read that. It's an engaging testimony of truth and resilience from a woman transforming. I'm here now. What? Finding joy after the storm is heartfelt guidance for living a life of peace and joy while moving through change. Erica's message helps you move away from what is no longer serving you and move you toward the path of of healing with grace. And both of your books remind me of that, that you were transforming, but you had so much going for you. Just as in this book, I haven't finished reading it all, but what what I do know is that when I met you, you were going through something,
Mhm.
and I didn't know it because it was just as you were just as graceful. And we know that, you know, divorce, separation are very tentative. People don't want to talk about them. I it took me a while. I moved away before I could even really talk to anybody about what was going on with me. And in hindsight, I wish I wish that I had have told people. I mean, my parents were kind of last ones to know,
Mhm.
but but what I do know is I didn't want to cause people that I cared for any problems,
Mhm.
and I wanted to protect my children, and
Mhm.
I wanted to protect even the spouse,
Mhm.
almost, and so it took a while before I spoke about it, and we confided in one another about what was going on, to a degree, but you made it seem, I wasn't in your space, but when it was all said and done, you were joyous to me. It
Mhm.
seemed as if a weight had been lifted. I know it had been lifted for me, and then
Mhm.
I don't say that to mean that it was easy,
Mhm.
um, but you want to keep on living,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
And I think, at the end of the day, divorce is never easy. And especially when you have children involved, you have families who have been connected for so
Mhm,
long. So it's not a space that is comfortable by any means. And one of the things the whole premise of the book is to share that message, right? Like, no, it's not easy. And yes, there were some moments where it was like this, right? Roller
mhm,
coaster with my
mhm,
emotions and all the things that were going on. Um, but the flip side is that there is this journey to finding peace, to finding joy, to find a place of settlement, if you will,
mhm,
because you
mhm,
get to the realization that, okay, this is a situation that no, it didn't turn out the way that we planned, but here is a point that we can navigate to so that it's a good space for us, for
mhm,
my ex, for my children, and in our families, because we've been
mhm,
so connected for so long.
mhm,
So a lot of times trying to process through that, and I think part of the thing that I want to say, and I do mention this in the book. I'm not exactly sure where you are in the process of this
mhm.
further discussion, but
Okay.
as women, we often show up in the way that we do, right? We're handling our business. We can take care of it. We're good. But sometimes we're cracked and broken.
Mhm,
We still show
mhm.
up.
That's
And
right.
so there's a plus and a minus to that, right? Because yes, we're strong. Yes, we're resilient. We take care of things. We do what we need to do. But we also need to um, let this open up the space for the nurturing and the caring and the support. So like you said, you wish you had shared, and there were times when I did not either, right? I wanted
Mhm,
to kind of be to myself. I wanted to process on my own. And so I get that. And
mhm.
sometimes we hold that when, it's good to hold the space privately, but there are people who can nurture us through the moments that we need. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things that when you said we're broken inside, I call it kind of it's a woman who's just raggedy inside, but she looks so put together and
Yeah.
so, and I know a lot of these people,
Mhm.
and I was one. I was just torn up, and I didn't realize it until I did get to Newark, New Jersey, a place I never thought I would ever live,
Mm.
and it became clear to me that when I sat down in my little box apartment, I called it a beautiful box, my beautiful box, and I
There's a
sat.
beautiful part, though. The beautiful part is important,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I sat there and I was so quiet that everything that had happened, it came to me. And I could recognize how torn up I had been
Mhm.
within in the marriage.
Mhm.
But you know, I didn't even think that I was so, raggedy
Mhm, mhm,
because
mhm.
I kept just moving on and was determined that it would not like it wouldn't break me up
Yeah.
totally. I
Mhm.
was determined that that would not happen.
So think about what you just said, and for those who are watching now, you may be able to relate, whether it is divorce or breakup
Mhm.
of another relationship.
That's right.
It could be your job, it could be the fact that you're the go-to person, your
Mhm.
family, your friends always coming to you, and we show up and
Mhm.
we do what we need to do. We're there for all the people, doing all the things. And you and I talk about this all the time when it comes
Mhm.
to our ability to take care of ourselves. But meanwhile, we're moving and constantly doing the things, not recognizing that we're raggedy. you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
blood
Mhm.
pressure's high,
Yes.
chronic diseases, constant
Mhm.
headaches, burnout and stress,
Mhm.
you're fussing at people. So this
Mhm.
conversation is applicable to life
That's right.
and
That's
all
right.
the things that we go through, and we're carrying all this stuff around, but yet we're constantly showing up, right?
She went up. Hmm. Yeah, and just and keep it moving, keep it grooving, and
Mhm,
not allowing ourselves um, the energy to open up to one another. And that's I know I'm going to be talking on your channel
mhm, yeah,
tomorrow
yeah.
about the need um, we're both coaches, and you helped me along the way become a coach. Um, but being a coach to ourselves,
Mm,
you know,
mhm,
is
yeah.
is an issue. I have you know the most number of clients right now that I've ever had. It's only three, but it's still.
Listen, but
but I have three clients, and I can tell them, you know, many things or ask
mhm,
them many questions and pose, accountability questions to them, and but I have to check myself
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
So but you have to be able to open up to someone. I know that you talk about therapy. I went through therapy also during this time, and
Mhm,
how the grief is like a roller coaster.
mhm.
And one minute you're one way, the next you're another,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
mm,
And I was just having a conversation. What's today? Today is Tuesday, right? I was
yeah.
having a conversation with someone last night and we started talking about therapy. And in the Black community, and this is Black History Month, so this is a great time to talk
Mhm.
about this. For so long, it has been, we don't do that, right? What
Yeah.
goes on in this house stays in this house. I know I heard it. And
Yes.
it's like, we've been so conditioned to think that that's how we're supposed to be. So when we're carrying
Mhm.
around all the stuff, we don't have that as an outlet. So therapy is so like therapeutic, it is cathartic, it's healing.
Mhm.
So as people listen to this conversation, if you ever had a notion about, well, I don't know about that, it is something that I think, let me say it from my perspective, I think you're saying the same thing.
Mhm.
It's a part of self-care. It's a part of nurturing yourself.
Yes.
So I do talk about it in the book because it's one of the things that really not only was a partnership when we first started going down the road of having conversations and moving through the spaces that we were in, but even after I realized, oh, I still need this.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
still need this. And even now, post divorce, 4 years now, it's been 4 years. I'm like,
Wow.
I still, yeah, it's been 4 years. So sometimes I say, oh, recently divorced. I'm like, well, wait a minute, it's been 4 years.
Yeah.
How recent is recent?
Yeah.
But I still use it as a form of self care. Just because life is happening, things are going on, and I need it because it's a place for me to just release, unload, and
Mhm.
just move to a good space as things are happening. Life is happening, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's right. That's right. And that's really a good point, because sometimes after an event or some change has happened, you're like, oh, I'm over, I'm done with that.
And you're
And
carrying
I
on
didn't
now.
realize that when I came from Atlanta to back to Philadelphia, I needed to talk to somebody.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
because yeah, things weren't really settled. I think I was moving around too fast, and then I slowed down, and then all of the stuff started rushing in.
mhm,
So it
mhm.
is something that you want to visit. So
Yeah.
but so Erica, we've gotten to this point, me 6 years now, you 4. um and the last time we were on video together, I was on
Mhm,
your station, on your channel, and we had conversations. There were 3 to 4 of us. We did
mhm.
two, was it two,
Yeah, 2
two,
talk conversations.
two conversations about dating.
Yes,
And I
Jesus.
was just like, I wasn't ready. I still don't know. I don't know. And we had a conversation with 3 women and 1 man who was adamant.
Yeah.
Now, and I wish they had a clip of it now, because I was feeling some kind of way. I was looking at Brother Man with the side eye, and he was arguing with me. I was raising my voice. I said, "Oh, I'm definitely not ready to date."
But you know what's funny about that? Yeah, that was it just makes you think about like the difference between what men see. Actually, okay, in that context, the difference between the male perspective and our perspective.
Yeah.
Um, but now what I'm finding is this whole dating space. Everything is about the dating apps these days, right? I really, really, really would love it if somebody could introduce me to someone, because
Yes.
then I feel like, okay, at least you're coming with a little bit of street cred. Somebody can vouch for you. They can say,
Right.
but it's like you're trying to like meet somebody on an app and you're looking at profiles, and let me just tell you, sometimes I just laugh. I laugh because I look at profiles and I'm like, is this really what people are putting on their profile to attract, or are you trying to punk me? Like, are you really trying to joke? Because
Right.
so
Yeah. Uh,
it's a whole new world.
it is. It is. And I think it was this past weekend or last week's, I don't know what days it is nowadays, but going through Instagram, and I've taken like a break from social media from time to
Mhm.
time, and I went on, and there's this one person that I follow who does, I don't know what her name is, Felicia, I believe, and she does different voices.
Mm.
Um, she does the imitation of different nationalities, voices.
Mhm.
And so this dating app, asks her to basically kind of promote their act. It's called the Black app, I believe.
Okay. Okay.
and and she says, go on there and let them know who sent you to the Black app. Take a look around if you want to, and then get out of that thing. And that's exactly what I did, because it was like I saw the same old faces.
Really?
Yeah, and so a friend of mine and I were talking, and we were saying that those people on the app, the men on the app, or whoever you're looking with, they
Mhm.
belong there. but I don't belong there. They're there because they want to they that's where they feel comfortable
Mm.
in
Hmm.
the app.
And not socializing like outside of the app. Is that what that means?
Right, right,
Huh.
right. Yeah, they're not socializing, and we want someone face to face and to feel the energy with.
Yes.
You don't feel the energy
Yes.
with them,
Yeah, it's like
and so
that's a good point though, and I don't know that I ever thought about that. Like, it's almost like it's a good place to hide, right?
yes,
You're only giving but so much because what's the phrase I'm looking for? Not the place of least resistance. That's not it. But it's the place where you don't have to invest a lot.
yeah.
I can just give you a little bit, and
Mhm.
if you look decent, then that's going to draw you in, and then I give you a few little words. But I, oh, it's so but here's the thing I do want to say. A couple things about the dating apps. But one is that I do believe this is a space for us and every woman who is single to be comfortable and present with who you are.
Yeah.
Because there's the part of this whole thing, and I was having a conversation, having a series of conversations on this topic, dating and relationships. And one of the things that I will continue to say over and over and over is that while I know that I do want companionship on some level, I
Mhm.
also know that while that hasn't happened yet, I am going to continue to get present with, well, what do I like?
Mhm.
What do I like to do?
Mhm.
How do I like to feel? And kind of stay in that zone. I'm not saying that there aren't times when I'm like, dang it, it's Friday night and I really want to go out with somebody that hasn't,
Yeah.
whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but it's a good
Yeah.
time to be present with you, be present with me, so that when somebody shows up, then
Mhm.
we can just be our authentic self. And
Mhm.
if that person is ready to receive that, and vice versa, because it works both ways if you're doing the things for yourself that you should. So it is a good space to be, but sometimes I'm like, ooh, where the brothers at?
Where are yeah, where are they? Let's see. Maya has a comment. Hi, C Temp. Good to see you this evening. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Joining my friend Erica for conversation. So Maya says, "Yep, tell her
That's a good
the
one.
dating app boys are back outside, but
But
they
ain't that
ain't
outside?
theirs."
That's it. That's from the beehive, right? I know it. Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Here's the thing. So to Maya's point, I just want to say this real quick. So I had met someone, and on the app we connected. We had started going out on it was a consistent basis.
Okay.
And he was outside, like we would go out, we enjoyed each other's company, vibe was feeling right. And then it got to a point where it was like, okay, I ain't heard from you. What's going on? So he wasn't that outside, to Maya's point. But that's the thing. It's like you get to this place and you're like feeling like, okay, this is cool. And then
Yep.
I am not, and I was having a conversation with somebody about this last night. If I show you interest and you reciprocate, and then something happens, I'm not going to be chasing you down to say, hey, I'm just because what it says a lot to me about your availability, which I also talk about in the book. So there's a whole lot about this
You,
space.
in this book, you talk about this in the back?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's in the dating game chapter about availability.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, keep hope alive.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
I mean, I will confess that when I was in Atlanta for a year and a half, I used uh, two apps. One, my daughter said you shouldn't have ever been on that one.
Oh, what was it? Tinder?
Yes.
No. Well, it depends on what you were looking for. Because if you were looking for something specific, then maybe so. Now, these
See,
days, I might need to go on Tinder, but anyway, I digress. Yes, I said it.
so I don't see. I didn't know. I don't.
Uh-huh.
That's how. So, um, the weirdest things were going on.
Mhm.
There was a guy who he worked out all the time in his garage, and he had
Uh-huh.
a video of himself, pumping iron and everything. He looked like he was in really good shape. Come to
Mhm.
find out, he was older, much older,
Oh, wow.
and he says, "You, I don't think you're ready for me, because most women, when they tap in and they like what they see, but they don't like what they gonna get." And I was like, he says, "I require a woman who looks like this, and this." He said, "Do you look like this, and this? Really? Do you?" And I was, I couldn't believe he was like he says, "I expect you to be up at 6 a.m. We gonna work it out." He was like, it was like
Oh,
it was a comedy, and all I could do was laugh. I could not take the man serious. I was not threatened by him. I
yeah.
did not like him. He said it. "You're not gonna like me," but I think he liked himself more than any
More.
woman
Yeah.
who
Yes.
who would have pressed, or
Yeah.
scrolled left or right or whatever direction. See, that's how much I'm not. I don't know which way to go to scroll.
So
So
I was having a conversation to your point, and she said the same thing. Like sometimes it's just comedic, like it's just something to make me laugh because sometimes it seems so ridiculous. Like really,
yeah,
and here's the other thing. So, see, it's funny story. So I'm new like you. This was when I first got on the dating. When I started off, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get on 3 of them. Well, that was too much to manage. So I'm not doing that. So found, one guy and I see his profile and he's like, hey, I'm Poly. Now I went to my high school was Baltimore Polytechnic Institute, right? For short, we always called it Poly. So when I saw that, I said, "Oh, what what year did you graduate?" Well, he wasn't talking about Poly
that
High
part.
School. He was polyamorous, like, yes, multiple relationships, and I just felt so green, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you don't know the lingo. Like some of the lingo is just like, what is that? Sometimes I have to look stuff up. Now I do, but before I didn't even think that I needed to till that situation, which is also in the book. But yeah, it's a whole new
Yeah,
world.
no, I feel green. I feel real silly. I feel out of place. Yeah, and I don't like that. What I would want, moving into this next phase, I always said that it would be great to have a companion, and I want it to be organically. I
Mhm,
want it to come together organically. I don't want it
mhm.
to be like this. Kind of like a
Almost like mechanical, like
mechanical.
mhm,
Yeah, I really don't want that. I don't. It's just like everything else. Like I was talking to you before we came on. Everything else has come to me.
mhm,
It just has kind of like it's like things have floated down and just
mhm.
come to. It's like magic
Yeah,
almost. It's
yeah.
the universe is just aligned and things are coming to me. And I
Mhm.
believe that if I just you know when it's time,
Yes.
when I am
Mhm,
more open than I am now, that it
mhm.
will come to me. That's just the way I think it will be. And I think, if you were to look at my this app that you introduced me to, and you said it's just for fun, the money app, I
Yes,
believe in that thing
yes.
because everything that I've written down in my desires,
Mhm.
that's the last thing on it.
Isn't that something? So
Yeah.
you already know that with the energy that you're feeling from the other things,
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's last. So
Okay.
that's they might not even happen here in the United States.
Ooh, honey, listen. Well, now, ooh, that makes
Whew.
me excited. It makes me think about I need to transition if that's where he's gonna come from.
I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? You got about 6 months, no, 5 months left. Better
Oh,
hurry up.
but just so think about that, right? Like as we process what you just said, like the power there's so much, and I know this show's not hours, which we could talk for hours, but just the thought of what you're creating, right?
Yeah.
What you're creating and what you're allowing yourself to rest in, which is something that we don't always do.
Yes.
So Dr. K said I've had to look those acronyms up too. Dr. K, isn't it crazy when you think about some of this stuff? Like, I still think about that and laugh at myself going back to the whole poly thing. I was like, what year did you graduate? He was like, this woman don't know jack. Anyway, I go with
It's
that.
I'm 60. I don't even think about my age, but
Mm,
until stuff like this comes up, and I
yeah.
feel like good. I need a whole education about how to talk to someone, how to, I don't know, be in their presence. Uh,
But no, but what you just said, because you are allowing yourself to be open to
yeah,
receiving it the way everything else has flowed, you won't need to do that because it'll probably come so organically and naturally for you to just show up. And just like you said, things are just aligning in a way. You're going to be sitting in a cafe having coffee and just start talking, and it's going to feel so easy and so open that you won't have to try to figure out, well, how should I say this? Which that's the way I see it.
all right.
I'm saying that to you and I'm receiving it for myself.
You receiving it too?
Yes, I am. Just
Okay.
saying.
C. Tim says, "Has anyone tried speed dating?" No, I've never
Ooh,
done that
I've
before.
never done.
C. Tim, have you done that before? Tell us about
Yeah,
it.
I was gonna say, teach
No,
us something.
no, I haven't done that. Um, yeah. Let's see. No, I haven't tried that. There's a friend, a person I'm friendly with on the West Coast who actually recently got
I
married.
just read the comment from
But
Dr. K.
how about guys who say, how about guys who say they have a graduate degree and then you ask about their bachelor's and they have no idea what a bachelor's degree?
Then you
No.
know he's a fraud, right? He is a fraud and a scammer. Oh,
Well, well,
well,
yeah. The thing about it is they don't even realize that, you don't even need to talk about that
that's true.
nowadays.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And that's the thing. People
Which
think,
tells you a lot about him because if he
right.
feels like he has to, then
That's right.
it's compensating for some area where he feels like there's lack. And that's with anybody, men or women. But
Men
yeah,
or women. That's
yeah,
right. That's
yeah, yeah.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
That's
I'm
funny.
sorry. You were getting ready to say something, but I couldn't help when I was reading Dr. K's comment. I was like, oh, that is hilarious. The speed dating, I think, is what we were talking.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I haven't done speed dating. I don't know about it either. I don't even
Me,
know where you would go to do it
me.
unless it's like a meetup or something like that. I don't
Mhm.
know. But a friend on the West Coast recently got married after being matched.
Mm.
They do a lot of matching, a lot of, um, filling out application, and someone goes over and they match the
Yeah,
two
there's like a
people together.
concierge service.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
I think I might like, okay, I'm saying it, but not like I'm getting ready to do it tomorrow. But it's something that makes me curious because then you feel like there's some kind of process that you got to go through to even get into that concierge space. So it
Yeah,
almost feels like it's a little bit more, high end kind of, but
yeah,
it's still,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and sure, I think it's a pretty hefty
Yeah.
investment. So you
Mhm.
have to be willing to invest in that. And then I think, you know, I don't know how I feel about it, other than that, organically you want to invest also in
Mhm.
in the process,
Yeah.
not necessarily, financially, but you want to invest with your time, your energy. It just
Mhm.
depends on what you want. The apps say, do you want something, what is it? You just want to try it out, I don't know.
Yeah. If
You want to be a
some
couple, you want
right.
to, I call it companionship. Go out casually,
Some people will say
and then what is casual?
yes, yes.
What's casual?
And that's the thing. And that's really so what you're speaking to is exactly what is important because you got to know what you're looking for. Like some people are like, yes, I'm looking for, I want to get in a serious relationship. And it's like, oh, okay. So I already know I need to like get to know you. I need to have conversation. I need to hang out with you. I need to see how you interact. I need to
Yeah,
know how you, if you have kids, what's your relationship with you? So I'm not going to just be like, yes, I'm ready to get married.
yeah.
Now, some people, if that's what they want, and I see that in their profile, then I know, okay, well, maybe I should keep scrolling. Not to say that I would never get married again, because I'm not saying that, but it's like, give me something to work with.
Yeah.
So I can get to know you first.
Yeah. So C-Tem says, no, you don't have the bandwidth for speed dating, C-Tem. So
Yeah.
see,
I don't
yeah,
know how
I
it
don't
works.
think I have it either.
I don't know. I don't really, I don't know enough about it. But at the stage I'm going, I'm like, well, hell, why not try it? I'm just joking because
Well,
I'll probably say that now, but then if I had the opportunity, I'd be like, oh, never mind, never mind, never
well,
mind.
see, you know what I think, Erica, and I think that you are, and I don't want, I hope not speaking out of turn or out of line, but you are accustomed to, you have big family.
Mm,
You're used to that, and
yeah.
I think you want that again. Am I? Is that
In terms of
like having
us,
partnership, and that person possibly blending in with your family?
yeah,
Yeah,
for me, it is important to have somebody who can like, and it's funny you bring that up because that's one of the things on my list when I talk about what I'm looking for in a companion. Like because my family is close and we have a good time together. Like I want you to be able to flow in that. If
yeah.
we have a get together and you sitting over in the corner because you don't know, like that's not gonna work.
Wallflower. That's
Yeah.
not gonna
So
happen. Yeah.
yeah, you're right. I feel and I think this brings to another point. It's okay for us to make a list of what we want.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now we have to also on that list say, okay, well, what am I willing to not hold so staunch to? Like,
Yeah.
okay, if you say you want somebody who can cook and he can't, but he gotta, is that okay? So yeah, this
Yeah.
that's a part of being in the single space is defining for yourself what you're looking for as you grow within yourself. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't explored much of it, and
Mhm.
um, yeah, I jury's out. Sometimes, a friend of mine told me a long time, well, probably about 6, 7 years ago, that when it happens, it's going to be like for me walking around the corner, and there that person is, and that's
Mm.
how it's going to end up.
That's that coffee cafe I just told you about.
Well, see, I will envision something like that. That's that
Mhm.
coffee, yeah, that cafe. I'll be
Mhm.
around in the corner, and
And
who
then when
knows?
it happens, I
Yeah.
wanna be one of the first to know so I can be like, "Mhm, about that."
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh gosh.
it's all good.
It
It will
is.
happen when it happens, and for you also. I
Yes.
like the fact that, it's funny. We can talk about this, but we can't talk about the things that were hurtful, but this is such a big question mark that we can have banter about it. And I think
Mhm.
that's really good to
Mhm.
do after closing a chapter. And I
Yeah.
think that things that some people don't like to talk about, dating, don't
Mhm.
want to discuss that idea that
Mhm.
they're ready to. It's forming a relationship and being able to with with all kinds of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's so important. And uh, yeah, at 60 years old, I didn't think I would be discussing
Yeah. First of all,
such
for
thing.
60 is like to me the new 40.
Yeah, I do.
So
That's
you look
right.
amazing. Not that, to me, 60 is
we
not.
look we look amazing.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
you're right. It's like then you start thinking about that age thing. Because I say to myself, oh gosh, here I am. I'm 53. And I'm like, oh, and I'm starting over. But I
yeah,
have to train my mind to say, I'm just starting something new. Because starting over makes it seem like it's laborious, right? And I have to think about how I'm framing where I am right now.
yes,
So,
yes, yeah, yeah.
so is that another dating site? Tall,
Top, top five.
Tallify? Okay. It's
It's
expensive
expensive.
too.
Mm. See,
Like you gotta.
that's those investments.
Listen. The one dating app that I'm on, it's $25.99 a month, and sometimes I say to myself, "Am I really going to keep doing this?" But I know that I haven't shut it down yet because I'm like, okay, there's something in me that keeps being curious about what might be out there. So here we go.
Yeah,
Um, oh, blind dating. Ooh,
I'm not feeling it's basically blinding. You don't get to choose and say yes or no.
oh no.
Oh, for that app.
No,
Okay.
because I want to be able to have choices. I want to be
Yeah.
able to keep scrolling
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
laugh and move on. and mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think also, we talk about our age, and I'm of the I, I'm of the thought that um I'm still very active. I
Mhm,
consider myself active. Although I do sit in this apartment, and I work and I do all kind of things from here,
mhm.
but I want to move around and stuff. So I don't think about um, staying stuck
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah.
At this age, I still feel that I have a lot of life in me. I know I
Mhm,
do,
mhm.
and who says that some people don't get married and still are active at this
Absolutely.
age,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's healthy, it's good. We're no longer on that roller coaster
Mhm, mhm,
necessarily. We the ride is finally coming to an end. The
mhm.
the grief,
Yeah, and that's the important part, right? And I think
yes,
what I would want people watching to get from this conversation is that the story is about the challenge with moving through divorce and all the components that come along with it, your emotions, how you're feeling, how you're dealing with your family, your kids, but that, and the tagline says finding joy after the storm, right?
yes,
The joy in coming through it. And while the backdrop of my story is divorce, somebody else could pick it up and know they could fill in the blank with whatever's happening in their space, right?
that's right.
So at the end of the day, it is our goal to move through that moment and find the joy. So we're laughing about the dating scene, and there's some other things
Mhm,
happening in our space that feel
mhm.
good. And that's what we
Yeah,
want to get to. That's
that's
the
right.
transformation in it.
That's right. Absolutely. And that's the fun part. And that's the right now I have it's not necessarily a challenge, but on Journal with Me sessions, we were working through affirmations for
Mhm.
10 days, 10 sessions. And, and being able to celebrate ourselves
Mhm.
um, through, positive, powerful statements about yourself that and affirmations have a seriously powerful verb
Mhm.
an action word in
Yeah.
there and uh, we have to we have to think about the what strong action we want to take to move
Mhm.
to do something to because we're changing every minute
All the time. Yeah.
all the time
Mhm.
and to keep it stepping
Yeah.
and and I think the biggest part of the movement is truly learning to love yourself
Say that
learning to
again.
because there are so many people who don't believe in self-care. They don't believe in loving themselves. They believe that it's selfish and you
Mhm.
should not be serving yourself, but serving a higher
Mm.
being. But the higher being, it is my belief, believes that you must love yourself enough in
Yes.
order to be a human
Mhm.
and to
Mhm.
love others. So
And say that part, like that's the part that I think any woman watching this should get, is that loving yourself is paramount. We've been conditioned though to look at it from another perspective. Let me
mhm,
love everybody else, especially if you're a mother, you got children. If you are a wife, then you got to take care of your spouse. Putting all your time and energy into your job if you're working a 9 to 5 because your employer expects you to show up and produce and produce and produce. And so you're constantly putting out all the time.
yeah,
But loving yourself it's when you recognize that I am a priority. And unless I make myself a priority, then all the other stuff that is calling my name is not going to get the full attention. It might feel like you're doing it for a while, but eventually you'll run into a brick wall if you don't invest
that's
in
right.
yourself enough.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So it comes full circle, but you have to start someplace. When I
Mm-hmm.
say full circle, meaning that because you're always changing, and depending on what transformation or what journey you're on, because we can go
Yeah.
through I don't know how many journeys at one time. I
Mm-hmm.
did it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing. You become an empty nester. You become a divorced person. You become a caregiver to
Unemployed
your
or
parents. You
yep.
become thank you. You
Mm-hmm.
become unemployed. You become there are different things that you
Mm-hmm.
become and have to deal with and that's part of life but but when you care for yourself, you can organize yourself. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to be this, um, you know, unpleasant thing. If you
Mm-hmm.
get yourself organized in how you manage yourself, but you have to observe yourself. It,
Mm-hmm.
it's exercise in loving yourself.
And part of that too is the boundaries that we create, right? Which
Right.
is something
Yep.
that's a whole conversation on its own. It's like
Yeah.
boundaries, what? I'm always saying yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'll do it. I'll be there. You got it
Yeah.
anytime. And
Yeah.
before you know it, you're like, oh God, I'm exhausted. Well, it's because you're
Yeah.
saying yes to everybody else and not saying yes to yourself. But when you flip it and start saying no to some things and yes more to you, then it's like, oh, there's a light bulb that went
Yeah,
off,
that's
you
right.
know?
That's right.
So, yeah,
That's right.
it's a process,
Exactly.
it's a journey.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, I'm gonna be. Let's see. Where are we? I want to respect the time, but I want if you all can. You can get this on
Yep. So you
Amazon. It's
can,
actually a bestseller on
Yes,
Amazon.
I
Come on,
I am
come on
thank
now,
you. Let me
celebrate.
celebrate it. I am an Amazon #1 best-selling author. So yes, I am grateful for that. So thank you for bringing me back to my own celebration. You can get the paperback, you can get hardcover. It's also on ebook. So whatever your reading preference, there is something out there for you. The one thing that I will ask is for I'm going to ask this of you when you finish, if you could provide me with an Amazon review, that would be great.
Oh,
And
sure. Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
so I appreciate that. And I do thank you for being a part of the project with your testimonial to help
Oh.
give it some life.
No, that was cool. I was like, I got my own words on somebody's book. If it's not mine yet,
That's okay, because yours
it's
is
coming.
coming.
It's
That's
coming.
it. That is it. Along with that man, see what's going to happen is you're going to be writing in the cafe, having coffee, and he's going to come around the corner.
That's right. I'm envisioning it now. See, I'm gonna go to
Yes.
bed and I'll be dreaming about it.
Yeah. Now you got
So.
your visualization set. Yep. Good deal.
So C Tim says
Thank
congratulations.
you so
Yeah,
much. Thank you so
yeah.
much.
Dr. K. Dr. K, thank you for coming in,
Thank
saying
you,
hello.
Dr. K. Thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm excited to connect with your audience. I saw some of the comments in the journaling because I posted something.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I
Thank
think I
you.
saw some of the ladies in the
Uh-huh.
space there. Yeah.
Yeah, people come in when they can because evidently I get up. We get up too early. The crew who comes in, we are up early on Tuesdays and Thursdays
Mm-hmm.
at 7:30.
And I saw a lot
And
of replays, so those
a
are
lot of
some that they
replays.
coming in early. That's
That's
the
right.
problem. That's me
Yeah.
because I'm 7:30, but yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
do
it's
want to ask, if anyone is interested to connect in the same space. Kathy and I have a lot of the same conversations, but you can always find me on Instagram at True Synergy _. I'm on Facebook as Ericka Sallee and on YouTube as True Talk with Ericka Sallee, and that's TRU Talk with Ericka Sallee. So, sharing space together is a good thing.
okay. Let me put this out here. I don't want. I want everybody to. This is on YouTube. True Talk with Ericka Sallee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Ericka could have some downright engaging conversations on her YouTube channel, Instagram also,
Okay.
and that's True Talk with Ericka Sallee. Is that
Yeah,
it? Is
you
that
got
correct?
it. That's it. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep,
and
yep.
then what on IG?
Instagram is True Synergy _.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
True Synergy _
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it. Really?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So,
You got it.
um,
That's it.
yeah. All right. That's for Ericka on Instagram.
I
Okay. I should say,
appreciate that.
yeah. And yeah. Well, I'll be on
Yeah,
Erica's.
we'll be having conversation tomorrow. Now, so we'll record it tomorrow. I won't be live, but I'll be
Okay.
uploading it to the YouTube channel. So
Okay.
definitely want to stay connected there. So I appreciate you. And I
Yeah.
appreciate all of your viewers coming in, the ones hanging out live, and those that's going to come back and see that replay. So always a good time. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Dr. K. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah. Enjoy it. Yeah. Erica's lots of fun. And we'll break down. I think she needs to run for an office. She gets a little testy with the
I
politics.
do get a little testy. But one of the things I learned tonight was that, social media, you got to be real careful posting political stuff if that's not your space, your job, so to speak. Whole
Yeah.
lot of algorithm stuff. But, as an American in this country, to not be concerned about the things that are happening is concerning if we're not. So let me just leave it at that. So,
Okay. All
yeah.
right. All right then. Well,
Well,
thank
thank
you
you, Kathy.
all.
I
Thank
appreciate you.
you. Thank you so much. And if you have watched this at the tail end, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Even if you are watching, like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, share this with someone who might want to hear it, someone who might want to laugh, because we did a
Yes.
lot of laughing and smiling, who needs
Mhm.
some release. And it's gonna be okay. If you are in this space they call untangling, they call it divorce, separation from a relationship. It's going to be all right. It
It's gonna
really is.
we are
Um,
living witnesses to the
we're
fact.
living witnesses to
Yes.
it, and yeah, and talk about it
Yeah.
because it will only make you feel better to open yourself up to something else, something special is coming into your life.
Yeah.
I know it is for me. I know it is for Erica, and for you as well. I'll be talking more about the subject um, quite often, and because there's all kinds of things that we have to um, get get used to thinking about
Mhm.
um, in untangling. There's
Mhm.
all kinds of things
Yeah.
that really have to do with keeping yourself well financially,
Mhm.
um, you know, and not letting necessarily lawyers speak for you.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah, and you being in control of your own divorce, and that's what I knew as being someone legally trained that I was going to have to do, and I
Mhm.
did it. I did it and had to come back again and do it again.
Mhm.
So make sure that you are okay. Just like you were going to quit a job and take care of yourself. You quit this
Yeah.
thing called a relationship, and you handle yourself accordingly. I'm not going to
Absolutely.
preach tonight, but
But that just means there's more to come, more
there's
conversations
more to
to
come.
be had. So there you
Yes,
go.
right. So I will see you all on Thursday, but I'll be on Erica's channel. Look out for that video
Yeah.
as she posts it. All right. Take
Yeah.
care,
Good
everyone.
night.
Hold on. Hold
Yeah.
on, Erica.
I got you.
Okay. Bye bye.